Do you hate waiting? That feeling of being stuck, powerless, like life itself is just paused? What if I told you those exact moments, the ones filled with restless waiting, are secretly some of the most potent creative times in your entire life? Today, we uncover a forgotten spiritual art. We explore how waiting itself isn't passive at all, but an active form of creation that can bring deep peace and actually align you with what you truly desire. It's a wisdom hidden right under our noses, often ignored in our world obsessed with constant doing. Think about it for a moment. What are you waiting for right now? Could that waiting actually be working for you in ways you haven't imagined? Let's be really honest here. Waiting often feels like a kind of subtle torture, doesn't it? There's that simmering anxiety, the impatience crawling under your skin, that restless energy buzzing with nowhere to go. We all know this feeling intimately. Waiting for test results from the doctor, waiting for that important email or call back, waiting for a partner to finally show up in your life, or for a creative project to finally gain momentum. Maybe you're waiting for healing, physically or emotionally, or just waiting for clarity on your life's purpose, that sense of why you're here. It's woven into the very fabric of being human. But our modern world, especially here in the West, doesn't make it easy. It relentlessly screams at us, do more, go faster, be productive. We get deeply conditioned, almost from birth, to believe that our value comes only from visible action, from constant output. Stillness gets labeled as stagnation, and waiting is seen as fundamentally wasted time. And this conditioning creates enormous internal pressure. It fuels a significant amount of our daily stress and, honestly, a lot of unnecessary suffering. It makes us feel powerless, like puppets dangling while life happens to us. Our minds spin out, crafting worst-case scenarios, replaying frustrations. We feel this deep ache, this mismatch between our inner desire for progress and the external reality that just seems stuck. But here's the crucial question we rarely pause to ask. Is this agonizing frustration, this heavy feeling of being hopelessly stuck in the in-between, the only way to experience these periods? Could there be another layer to waiting, a deeper truth, a hidden potential that we've been overlooking simply because no one ever taught us how to see it? What if the ache itself is pointing towards something else entirely? Here it is. This is the core shift in perception, the heart of this forgotten spiritual art. Waiting isn't empty space. It's not a void. It is sacred gestation. Think of it as a fertile darkness, an inner incubator where things take root, where energy gathers, where unseen transformation is actively happening. Consider a seed planted deep in the earth. On the surface, for days, maybe weeks, absolutely nothing appears to be happening. It looks like stillness, like inactivity. But beneath the surface, hidden from view, incredible, powerful creation is underway. Roots are pushing down, anchoring. Life force is organizing itself, gathering strength for the emergence to come. Conscious waiting is like becoming aware of that rich, fertile soil within you. It's recognizing the unseen growth. Now, this is crucial. This isn't about passive resignation. It's not about giving up and doing nothing. It's about understanding that some forms of creation, perhaps the most profound forms, happen internally first. They happen energetically within your consciousness before they ripple out into the visible world. It's a different kind of activity altogether, one that our busy culture often fails to recognize or value. During these perceived pauses in external action, incredible things are happening beneath the surface. Energies are subtly aligning based on your deepest intentions and your inner readiness. Your subconscious mind is processing information, integrating experiences, making new connections. You could say the universe, or God, source, life, whatever name resonates with you, is rearranging the cosmic furniture behind the scenes, preparing the stage for what's next. Trying to impatiently force an external result during this vital incubation period is like digging up that seed every single day just to check if it's growing yet. You know intuitively that wouldn't help. It would actually disrupt the delicate natural process. The true art of waiting, then, is learning how to tend the inner soil, cultivating trust, presence, patience, not constantly trying to force the sprout out before it's time. It's about nurturing the conditions for growth, not demanding it on your schedule. Our culture places a huge emphasis on what we might call yang energy. It's the energy of doing, striving, pushing forward, making things happen. And that energy is important. It's necessary. But creation, true sustainable creation, always requires balance. Conscious waiting is how we engage the essential counterpart, the yin energy. This is the energy of receiving, allowing, being, nurturing, and simply holding space. It's the quiet power that makes the doing effective. Why is this receptive state so crucial, especially when waiting? Because it allows the vital inner work to happen. This yin space creates room for, first, integration. Life moves fast. We have experiences, learn lessons, receive information. The receptive pause allows these things to actually settle within us, to become wisdom rather than just fleeting data. It's where the dots connect internally. Second, intuition. Our minds are often so loud with planning, worrying, and analyzing, the doing mode. When we intentionally cultivate receptivity, a certain quietness emerges. In that quietness, we can finally hear the subtler whispers of our own inner guidance, our intuition. Insights that were drowned out before can finally surface. This is about accessing deeper self-knowledge. And third, alignment. Receptivity allows our own energy field to naturally harmonize with what we desire. Instead of pushing against what is with frustration or force, we soften. We allow ourselves to become resonant with the outcome we seek. It's like tuning an instrument. You can't force it into tune. You have to allow the strings to settle into the right vibration. Think of it like trying to listen to a specific radio station. If you're shouting instructions, complaining about the static, or frantically twisting the dial back and forth, that's impatient waiting. You create noise that blocks the very signal you want to receive. The art of receptive waiting is like calmly, intentionally tuning the dial to the right frequency, creating a clear, quiet space, and then simply allowing the music, the signal, your desire, your guidance, your solution, to come through without interference. This concept is actually the very essence of what many teachings, like the law of attraction, call allowing. After you've set your clear intention, which is a form of doing, the waiting phase is the allowing phase. Impatience, doubt, frustration, trying to micromanage the universe, these are forms of resistance. They actively block the flow you've invited. And here's a practical way to know if you're in that allowing state. Check your inner peace. Peace during waiting isn't just a pleasant bonus. It's often a direct indicator that you're in that receptive, trusting, allowing vibration. Anxiety, on the other hand, acts like a signal flare, telling you, hey, check your inner tuning. You might be creating resistance. Let's try a quick check-in right now. Bring to mind something you're currently waiting for. Just notice, where in your body do you feel tension or tightness as you think about it? That's often where resistance lives. Now, can you consciously breathe into that area? Can you intentionally soften it just a little? Can you create even a small inner space of openness, of simple allowing, right there? That feeling, that softening, that's the beginning of cultivating yin receptivity. Now let's talk about a word that often brings up resistance for people: surrender. It can sound passive, like giving up, like waving a white flag in defeat. But within this forgotten spiritual art of conscious waiting, surrender means something entirely different. It's not passive resignation, it's active trust. It's the conscious, courageous choice to release the tight grip of needing to control how things unfold and when they unfold. It's choosing to trust that there's a larger wisdom, a deeper intelligence, whether you call it the universe, God, source, or life itself, that is orchestrating things in ways we might not fully grasp from our limited perspective. Think of it like being in a river. Impatient waiting is like frantically trying to paddle upstream, exhausting yourself fighting the natural current. Or maybe it's trying to force the river to go faster, or take a specific shortcut that you think is best. True surrender in this context is like learning to trust the river's current. You relax your frantic paddling. You still steer your boat, making conscious choices along the way, but you allow the main flow of the river to carry you forward. You work with the energy, not against it. It's a dance between intention and allowing. Ancient wisdom traditions often speak about two fundamental types of time. There's chronos, which is the linear, measurable clock time that we live by day to day. Seconds, minutes, hours. But then there's kairos. Kairos is different. It's qualitative time. It means the right moment, the opportune time, the perfect unfolding. Waiting consciously, with trust and receptivity, is how we begin to align ourselves less with the anxiety of chronos. When will it happen? And more with the wisdom of kairos, trusting that things will unfold in their perfect, opportune moment for our highest good and learning. What happens when we don't trust this timing? When we refuse to surrender control? We inevitably create more anxiety for ourselves. Our minds race, we grip tighter, we try to force outcomes. Often we end up making decisions driven by fear or impatience, rather than clear intuition or guidance. And ironically, this very forcing energy, this resistance to the natural timing, can sometimes disrupt or delay the very thing we desire from unfolding in its most graceful and aligned way. But think about the alternative. Consider the profound, almost physical relief that washes over you when you genuinely let go and choose to trust the process. It's like putting down a heavy weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. All that energy previously consumed by worry, by trying to micromanage the universe, by struggling against the current, it suddenly becomes available. Available for peace, for presence, for actually enjoying the journey, even amidst the not knowing. This trust is a direct pathway to genuine inner peace. Think about times in your own life. Maybe trying to force a relationship that wasn't quite right, pushing for it on your timeline, or desperately trying to make a job opportunity happen before it was fully ready. Compare that feeling, the striving, the anxiety, the pushing, with a time when perhaps you let go a little, trusted the timing, and allowed something wonderful to unfold more naturally, maybe even surprisingly. Can you feel the energetic difference between those two approaches within yourself right now? That difference is the essence of trusting the current. So let's bring all these threads together now. We started by acknowledging that deep, universal ache of waiting, that feeling of being stuck and powerless. Then we introduced the great reframe, seeing waiting not as emptiness, but as fertile, sacred gestation, like a seed growing unseen in the dark. We explored how cultivating receptivity, that gentle yin energy, is how we actually tend to that inner garden of becoming. And we saw how learning to trust the current, embracing conscious surrender and divine timing, provides the essential water and sunlight for that hidden growth. Now, here is the heart of it all. Here is the forgotten spiritual art revealed, the key that unlocks the power hidden in plain sight. Your state of being, your inner condition while you are waiting, is the creative act itself. Let that sink in for a moment. When you choose to wait with conscious presence, when you actively cultivate trust even amidst uncertainty, when you hold an inner posture of openness and allowing, you are not just passively killing time. You are actively shaping your own energy field. You are aligning yourself vibrationally with the solutions, the opportunities, the healing you seek. You are literally co-creating the conditions necessary for your desired outcome to manifest in the physical world. You shift, fundamentally, from feeling like you are waiting for creation to happen to you, to realizing you are in the process of creation, right here, right now, through the quality of your awareness and your inner state. This changes everything. You move from feeling like a victim of time, a victim of circumstance, tossed about by external events, to becoming a conscious participant in the profound unfolding mystery of life. You reclaim your power, not by forcing, but by aligning. Can you feel the difference inside you? That shift from the tight knot of anxious striving, the frantic energy of trying to control everything, to the expansive feeling of peaceful, powerful allowing. That sense of relief, of freedom, of quiet strength. That is the liberation this forgotten art offers. Your waiting, when approached this way, isn't meaningless. It isn't wasted. It holds profound purpose. It becomes a powerful catalyst for your own spiritual awakening and growth. You are creating right now. Okay, this understanding feels profound, maybe even liberating. But the big question always comes back to, how do we actually do this in the trenches of everyday life? What happens when impatience inevitably bites, when that old familiar anxiety starts to creep in while we're stuck in traffic or waiting for that important news? How do we translate this beautiful concept into a tangible practice? Here is something incredibly simple yet powerful you can start using immediately. Let's call it the mindful wait pause. It's designed to be used right in the midst of any waiting moment, big or small. It has just a few steps. First, notice. The moment you catch yourself feeling that familiar tension of impatient waiting, the foot tapping, the jaw clenching, the mind racing, simply notice it. Without judging yourself, just acknowledge its presence internally. You might say silently, there's that familiar ache. Or, okay, impatience is here right now. Just becoming aware is the crucial first step. Second, breathe. Take 1 or 2 conscious, slow breaths. Really feel the air entering your body and leaving your body. Let the breath be an anchor, pulling your awareness out of the spinning thoughts about the future and into the reality of this present moment, right here, right now. Third, soften and open. Intentionally scan your body for physical tension. Are your shoulders hunched? Is your jaw tight? Your stomach knotted? Consciously soften those areas, even just a little bit. Then, shift your mental focus away from the lack of what you're waiting for and simply open your awareness to what is present. Notice the sounds around you, the colors you see, the feeling of your feet on the ground or your body in the chair. Adopt an inner posture of simple openness, of just being here. And fourth, this step is optional but can be very helpful. Affirm. Silently and gently repeat a simple phrase of trust that resonates with you. Something like, I trust the timing of my life. Or maybe, things are unfolding for my highest good, even if I can't see how right now. Or simply, I am supported, even in this waiting. Choose a phrase that feels calming and centering for you. The real magic happens when you practice this mindful wait pause in the small, seemingly insignificant moments throughout your day. Waiting for the kettle to boil, waiting at a red light, waiting for a web page to load, waiting in line at the grocery store. Each of these moments is an opportunity to practice. These micro-practices build the inner muscle of conscious, peaceful waiting over time. Remember, the goal isn't necessarily to never feel impatient again. We're human. The goal is to have a simple, readily available tool that helps you shift out of the grip of anxiety and resistance and into a state of greater peace, trust, and presence much more quickly. Notice the immediate sense of relief, however subtle, that even just one mindful pause can bring. That relief is your signal that you're tapping back into the art of conscious creation within the wait. So, remember this fundamental truth we've explored today. Waiting doesn't have to be lost time or a source of suffering. When we engage with it consciously, with presence and trust, it reveals itself as sacred, fertile, creative space. It truly is a forgotten spiritual art, one absolutely worth reclaiming for our own inner peace and profound personal growth. There's a quote often attributed to Joyce Meyer that feels fitting here. Patience is not simply the ability to wait. It's how we behave while we're waiting. It's about the quality of our being in the pause. As you move through your week ahead, I invite you to carry this gentle question with you. What hidden creation, what subtle unfolding, might be happening right now within my current pauses, big or small? If this exploration resonated with you today, if it offered even a glimmer of relief or a shift in perspective, please take a moment to give this video a like. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to Mystic Sages. We share insights like these regularly, merging timeless wisdom with practical understanding for modern life. And now, for our community here, I have a simple invitation. Share in the comments below. What's just one small waiting moment? Maybe waiting for coffee, waiting in line, waiting for a download, where you intend to try the mindful wait pause this week. Your simple act of sharing can truly inspire someone else who might be struggling with impatience today. Trust the process unfolding in your life. Trust the wisdom within you. And always remember the ever-present creative power held within your pauses. Peace be with you.